I'll just trust you on that.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, hello. Are we live?
Yeah, we are live, but it's just saying our Facebook is not live.
Hey, guys. It's not live on my end. Oh, I think here we go. Hey.
All right.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, so it looks like our Facebook feed is not working.
Gotcha.
But YouTube and the members group on Facebook are working. So.
Hey, everybody. How is everyone? Hey, Barbara's here. Barbara, I was just talking to Paul about meeting you at Boss. Last year, and just like how sweet that was. Like, you were just so sweet. Guys, this is so great. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much. This is so exciting. Guys, funny story. So, we try our best to promote these as much as possible, beforehand. And I totally forgot to put it on our website. So I'm really disappointed about that. But some of you guys were kind enough to share it on your socials. So I think we not sold because this is free, but got about 90 RSVPs. So hopefully we'll have at least about 90 of you guys in here at some point or another. Oh, it's echoing.
Is it echoing for everyone?
Yeah, is it? Can you guys drop us in let us know in the chat. Is it echoing for everybody? Let us know. Leslie's here. Okay, it's better apparently. Okay. That's really weird.
All right, cool.
Thank you for letting us know that. Yeah, guys, if there's technical difficulties at all, please let us know in the chat. We are not in a rural area, but our Wi-Fi options just suck for Baltimore. So, great. Thanks for letting us know. Let us know if there's any technical issues. We're so excited to have you all here. This is great.
Yeah, cool. I think some of the folks who are on here have been to our live shows before. Thank you for coming back. If you've already seen one of them before, if you're new, just kind of a rundown of what we're going to do. We'll tell you a little bit about who we are and what our company does. And then we'll get into a demo showing you kind of a quick setup. And then we'll go into a Q&A where we answer your questions.
Yeah. So my name is Faith. This is my husband, Paul. And again, I think most of you guys in the chat know who we are. But I have been a reseller for almost 7 years. I'm almost coming up on my reseller anniversary in October, actually. So excited about that. I started Soda City Flipped. Hey, if you guys haven't checked out Soda City Flips on Instagram, he just posted a really, really funny picture in his stories modeling one of our infamous My Reseller Genie totes that we just sold out of. So anyway, it was fantastic. We're really, really excited to have you, Shane. Thanks so much for signing up and for being here. So I've been a reseller for about 7 years. My husband here is an accountant. We've been married for almost that long, so 6.5 years, right?
Yeah.
He's better at dates than I am. And very long story short, COVID came around. And we had to kind of figure out, okay, like, how are we going to supplement our income? Thankfully, Paul didn't lose his job. Really, really grateful for that. But we did need to find some ways to supplement our income. And so we put our heads together. Meanwhile, I was talking to a whole bunch of you guys, and Tori and Sarah's here. Meanwhile, I was talking to a lot of you guys in Facebook groups. And just realizing that this is a common thing that resellers just kind of freak out when it comes to accounting and taxes, and we don't really know what we're doing. Some of us do, and if any of you guys are here in the chat, like, more power to you. That is fantastic. But I know I didn't know what I was doing, and it was really, really scary, especially my first tax season. And so Paul, being the wonderful guy that he is, an accountant that he is, he was like, hey, I think that we can help them. And so we put our brains together right around COVID time. We started out actually as a really, really fancy spreadsheet. And we basically created a way for you to get all of your sales, your inventory, as well, and your expenses into a spreadsheet so that you could have everything that you need to file your taxes and to analyze your business and beyond, just so much more. Fast forward, and a year and a half ago, we launched the web app. So we are no longer a spreadsheet, and we are a web-based software. So you just log in anywhere that you have a Wi-Fi connection. You can log into your Genie. We are a monthly subscription. So we have 3 plans starting from $9.99 a month through $19.99 a month. Very, very competitively priced, especially if you're coming from QuickBooks. And yeah, we are just so passionate about this, guys. And, like both of our backgrounds combined, but also just being so involved in the reselling community. Like we were just at a big reseller event a couple weeks ago, and hearing from so many of you guys, like we know that this is needed. And, from the customers that we do have that we've heard from, we're just so grateful, that we've been able to help so many of you guys. So tonight we're going to give you guys a little demo, and then we're going to answer all of your questions. Thank you, Leslie. We appreciate you so much, guys. If you're not following A Reworker's Passion on Instagram, she is fantastic. Like I just love her. Every time I see her stuff, I just smile. She is such a hard worker, and she just radiates joy. She's just fantastic. And she's also one of our affiliates. So thank you, Leslie, for being here.
So let's get into it.
Yeah.
I'm going to start presenting. If there's any technical issues, please let Faith know in the chat.
Yep.
All right. So my screen should be sharing at this point. I'm going to start getting into this. Let Faith know if there's any issues. All right. So when you first log in, you will see this. And I know it's kind of natural to like just click out of something because it's like, I don't want to read, but this can actually be kind of helpful because it'll point you to the new user checklist, which is just kind of something to give you a framework for steps to get set up in My Reseller Genie. And it also points you to this help box. So the help box, you can search like a question and it'll show different articles to you that might answer that question. If you're not really finding answers to your question, you can send us a message through that. And there's actually one other place I could point you to, which is the Help Center. And that'll take you to our knowledge base where you can do like even more in-depth searches for answers to your questions. We've got over 100 articles at this point, with everything from like setup steps to daily use to answers to like questions other users have sent. So there's a lot of resources out there to help you get answers, but our customer support is fantastic. We'll always get back to you in 24 hours or less. Yeah. So if you're just like, I can't find answers and I'm overwhelmed, please reach out to us and we will email you back.
Let me just do a really quick plug too before he gets into this. Courtney, can you please drop your link in the chat? Guys, Courtney Dobeck, she's in the chat right now, and she is actually a bookkeeper, an accountant who's studying for her CPA right now, and she is so fantastic. She knows the My Reseller Genie software. And so, obviously we've made My Reseller Genie so that, if you aren't wanting to pay for an accountant, you don't have to. Like you can do your numbers yourself. But if at any point you are confused, you're just, watching along with our demo and you're like, I just don't want to do this. I don't have time for this. Courtney is just fantastic. We've only heard just great things from our customers who use her. And again, she understands the software. So Courtney, yes, please drop your link. And if you guys want to set up a little meeting with her and just talk and share a little bit about your business, she is fantastic.
Yeah. Thanks for mentioning that.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Courtney. So I'm actually going to click on the new user checklist just so you can see what it has. So it gives you like these different steps: import current inventory, import sales, expenses, connect bank credit card, etc. So these are the steps that you would need to think through if you're setting up for the first time. So if you track inventory, then you'll need to import some kind of a list of your inventory. If you don't track inventory, you can ignore that step. And when you import your inventory, a lot of times people are going to import from a sales platform where they have their items listed. But if you have your own list, you should import that list, and we'll cover that in a little bit. And then for sales, you'll import your sales from the different sales platforms. We'll cover that as well. Let me just get into it. Okay, so initial imports. I'm going to show how we would do eBay, because My Reseller Genie has a connection to eBay. And so it's very, very quick, very simple. So I'm going to take, I have 2 integrations set up on this account. If you were setting up for the first time, you would click Add New Integration. And you know what, let me delete one of these so I can demonstrate that. So you click Add New Integration. You'll type in a name. So like if I wanted to say Paul's eBay, I can do that. And then of course I have it on incognito, so it's gonna.
Oh no.
So it's gonna make me sign into eBay, but you'll be sent, if you're already logged into eBay in your browser, it should just be like agree to let My Reseller Genie connect to eBay. But if you're on like an incognito browser like me, you'll type in your eBay username and password. So I'm going to go back, but that's how you would set it up. All right. So coming back here, once you've got your integration set up, you can click import. And then for inventory, you can click import inventory, and that's going to grab a current list of all your inventory on eBay. And it might take a couple minutes depending on how much inventory you have. So while you're waiting on that, you can click import again and then select sales. Now this is something that we actually added kind of recently. You can do a start date and an ending date for your sales import. Most of the time, people are going to be like starting at the beginning of the year and going through the current month. So you can, if that's your situation, you can do that. Sometimes though, we found people who had tons of sales. It was just too much to pull at once. So if that's you and like you run into a timeout error or something, you can just come back here and say like, all right, I want to do January to March, and then do another one for April to May, or whatever. That's just something that we incorporated to try and help folks out. All right, so I think this is pulling from your eBay account, so we'll go back to January 2022. All right, so that's going to load in. And I actually have another account that I want to log into because it's got some decent test data in there. So I'll do that now. So once your eBay data comes in, it'll look something like this, depending on how far back you pull. But I'm going to take you through each page here. So the first page is the management dashboard. And this page gives you like a big picture overview of what's going on in your business. And it'll show you for the last 13 months, your total sales, your cost of goods, gross profit, and net profit. So it's kind of cool to see like over time with seasonality, how your business changes, like what looks different.
Yeah, and I just want to address a comment in the chat real quick. So to City Flips, he said that he just signed up with us. Shane, I hope that you're okay with me broadcasting this, since you already kind of broadcasted it here in the chat. But he said, I just paid you $20 to find out I'm broke. Ha! The Go Gadget Better Sourcing. Anyway, so I think what you probably mean, Shane, is that you just got all your information, like all your data imported into Genie, and you're realizing, oh crap, like I'm not as profitable as I thought that I was. Maybe that's what you're saying, or maybe you're seeing other numbers. But that's honestly like what we've found to be true for a lot of resellers. It was true of me, guys. When I first started accounting for my business and adding in all of the fees, the expenses, my COGS, all of that, it was kind of wild to me, because usually like I have a pretty good memory or a pretty good handle on how much I spent for something and how much how much is going out of the bank and stuff. But when I actually got it on paper or in Genie, I realized, oh my goodness, like I got to be a little bit more strategic with where I source. Maybe I need to pull back here a little bit. I need to find another vendor for this shipping supply and that sort of thing. So it's a little bit painful at first, like Shane right now. I know that you're feeling the pain. I know that feeling, but it's really, really powerful to see it, because now you have that concrete data and information in front of you, and you can see how you're going to make those changes like from month to month now.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point to bring up. Information is power, and like having all of your information in one place is really helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about the profitability chart up here. There's two donut charts here. One says current inventory summary. You might not actually have a chart here when you first import your inventory, because what it's doing is it's showing you the dollar value of your current inventory. So if there's no purchase prices assigned to your inventory, then there will be no chart. For people who don't track inventory, it's not a big deal. For people who do track inventory, you'll just need to add that information. And there's many ways that you can do that, which we talk about in our help center. Total sales summary chart, that's just what it says. It breaks out your sales revenue by the department. And then assets to liabilities. So this is a chart that shows your inventory balance over time, sales tax liability balance, income tax liability balance, and cash balance. So I just want to highlight the income tax liability balance. So this is an estimate. One of the nice things that My Reseller Genie provides is just a way that you can kind of do a quick calculation of what you're going to owe in income taxes. So that can be really helpful when you're paying quarterly taxes.
I love that feature personally. Yeah. It's so helpful.
Yeah. And it defaults to 25%, but everyone's situation is going to be different. So I just did that without talking through it. So you can go and click on the profile icon and then profile settings, and you can change the income tax rate up here. So just wanted to highlight that because it can be really helpful. And then down here in the financials report, this is the numbers behind all the charts that you're seeing above. And if you have a question about a number and how it's calculated or what it stands for, check out these info icons, because they explain in as simple terms as possible what exactly you're looking at. Okay, so let's go to the sales tab next. So we imported some sales, and okay, for a second I was thinking I was on my first account. I was like, whoa, we have sales in the current month. Okay, so on the sales tab, right now we're in an Ultimate account. So Ultimate and Premium have these sales analytics. Basic, you'll just see a list of sales. But for Ultimate and Premium, you'll see the analytics. These are really sweet analytics because you can do the time filter at the top, which is great for just kind of quickly getting a snapshot of things. Current day, current month, year, all time, and then custom if you want like a specific date range. It gives you summary statistics for gross profit, average sale price, and sell-through rate. And then when we go down and get into the chart here, the first chart I think is probably most people's favorite chart.
Yeah, it's super fun.
It's really high yield too, because it gives you the total of your gross profit and then the number of sales. So whichever category is the most profitable for you, and also like how many sales you're making. So like here, I'm making a ton of sales, but not a ton of profit. It's like, well, I'm doing a lot of work on that, but I'm not making much money. Maybe I should stay away from that category. Or, if you had the inverse where it was not a lot of sales, but a ton of profit, that's like, oh, that's a really profitable category for me. So you can break this out in 4 different ways. Department, you can drill in and see category, and you can even drill down to see subcategory. And for people who, probably mostly clothing resellers is who Brand would apply to, but you can also do it by brand. I don't have any brand data in this set, but it is worth noting. So coming down a little bit more, we've got two more donut charts. One is gross profit by platform, which just shows you your distribution of profit based on the sales platform. And then we have gross profit by days listed. So how long it takes between the time an item is listed and it sells. Yeah. So, ideally you want a higher percentage with a shorter time range.
Yeah. You want to be turning that inventory quickly. Also, let me just tell you something really quick about the gross profit by platform. So, many of you guys use cross-listing softwares like List Perfectly or Vendoo or Flipper, whatever it is. And this can just be a great tool to kind of just show you, okay, which platform is performing best. So yeah, I'll just drop that. It does look like people want a giveaway soon. So let me ask you guys this, because I know some of you guys aren't actively in the chat. Is there anybody right now on the live who is not currently using My Reseller Genie? Let me know in the chat. Drop us a line. Paul's going to finish through in this tab, and then we're going to do our first giveaway.
All right, cool. That's exciting. Okay, so the last chart is total sales by days listed. It's kind of similar to this one here, but it shows information a little differently. So you've got your buckets for like how many days it's taking for these sales to occur. And then it shows you one line for average sale price and the other line for the total number of sales. And the goal here is to provide you a sense for, like, based on how long I let my item sit, what's the average sale price? So, everyone's data is going to tell a different story. Maybe it is worthwhile for you to let items sit for 120 days. Maybe it is. Mm-hmm. Or maybe you'll see that, after 90 days, my average sale price really drops like 50%. And the reason this information is helpful is because, like, every reseller has experienced that, situation where you buy an item and you're like, I think this is awesome. It's going to sell. Yeah. It's going to sell for so much money. And then it's just waiting and nobody else agrees with you. Mm-hmm. And finally, someone's like, I'm going to send them a lowball offer because that's what I think it's worth. And you have to just weigh this emotional decision. It's like, oh gosh, should I let it go or should I hold on to it? So the hope here is that you can take some of the emotion out of that decision making. So that's the charts. I won't say a ton because, looking at a table of data is not that thrilling.
Unless you're Paul.
Yeah, I mean, so one thing I will say, it's really great in My Reseller Genie. You can apply filters for any piece of data. So, these are all the things that we track. And if you want to say, like, item title that contains black, it sorts and it filters out for just those sales. And then all the charts up here update with that information. So I talked about how great these quick filters are, but you can filter your data like any way that you can imagine and then see the results update here. So that's really great. You can also, you can show and hide columns. Maybe you don't track something and it's just like, why would I have that showing up in my table? And you can export data. So if you want to run some analytics that maybe Genie doesn't provide out of the box, you can download it into a CSV file. It's very friendly for like pivot tables. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know just how sweet that is.
And it's okay if you don't know what he's talking about.
Also
I,
okay.
to this day, still don't know what he's talking about when he says that. And I'm okay because I got everything that I need in my Genie. But if you are a numbers, not freak, what is a nicer word? If you are a numbers... Lover, yes. And that's great. Numbers lover, then you will absolutely love exporting your data and just kind of messing around with it more like an Excel or in another type of spreadsheet. All right, guys. So I just got Leslie's laughing. Oh man, numbers freak. Okay. Oh, you're so welcome for the tote. So glad that you got it. Okay. So Shane just says, guys, I literally just signed up 20 minutes before the live started, and I'm already amazed by the info I'm getting from these reports. Don't wait. Sign up now. Thank you so much, Shane. We really, really appreciate that. And like, we know that this is going to help it. Well, it has helped. It is helping so many people, and there's just so many more resellers that it will help. So, okay, guys, the reason that I asked if there was anybody who's not currently using Genie in the chat is because we would gear our first giveaway to you guys. Okay. So if you, and I'm going to broaden this just a little bit. If you are on the live right now, if you are not yet signed up for My Reseller Genie, or you just signed up today, you are allowed to enter to win. And this is what you have to do. All you have to do is be the first person to drop the right answer in the chat. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. If you're not signed up on My Reseller Genie yet, or you just signed up today, you can answer this question. Okay, but all you guys, all you other people, not yet. Okay, your turn will come. Okay, so hey, Bear Kitty's here. Hey, how you doing?
Always good to see Bear Kitty.
It is so good to see you. Okay, so here is, oh no. Guys, okay, fun finds for you. Okay, haven't signed up. Somehow didn't end up meeting at FlipCon. PS fellow CPA here. Hey, that's awesome. I wish so bad.
We missed you.
Yeah, we wish that we could have met you. All right, the reason why I said oh no is because my first question was going to be name the conference that we were just at. And fun finds for you. You just gave that away in the chat.
Well,
so
hey,
Paul, help me figure out a different question.
Well, what about the next conference we're going to?
Okay. Oh, very, very good. Oh, but this is okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. First person to drop in the chat, if you're not currently using Genie, or if you signed up today, correct answer in the chat, you will win a free month of My Reseller Genie. Are you ready? Get your typing fingers ready. What is the next reseller event that we are going to? That My Reseller Genie is a sponsor of. Avocados.
Maybe we should make it be the next two. One of the next two.
We're gonna wait a second here. We're gonna wait one of the next two.
Well, I'm just saying, because the next one we're going to is probably.
Well, I just posted about it. Yes, you will be able to replay this on your YouTube. It will be recorded. Okay. All right. You know what? Wait. Oh, Cincinnati. We got a Cincinnati one.
Dave is so close.
I think we need to give it to him because that is the next one that we're doing. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that is the location of the next one.
It is. All right, David Shiflett, we're going to give this one to you. So the next conference that we're going to is Reseller Rally. It's in Cincinnati. It's a riverboat cruise with a bunch of influencers and resellers. David Shiflett, thank you so much. Congratulations. You just won a free month of My Reseller Genie Ultimate, which is our highest tier plan. It has the most automation. What I need you to do is drop me an email. So email us at support@myresellergenie.com. Let us know that you are the winner, and I will hook you up with a free month of My Reseller Genie. Congrats, guys. We're going to be doing 2 more of these throughout the live. So congrats so much, David.
All right. So, I mean, we basically covered the sales tab. The only other thing I'll highlight is that there's also a place for return sales. It says return, but this could be like returns, refunds, cancellations. If you don't know, it's important to have a record separately of a sale that was canceled or returned or refunded, and then the return as well. So I won't harp on that much longer, but you can do it in Genie. Okay, so inventory. This tab is not that thrilling. There's no charts, but it has a complete list of your current inventory items. So that's a great thing to see. And it has all the functionality that the sales tab has, where you can filter based on any of the columns. There's multiple operators that you can use, and you can export it. I didn't mention that there's a bulk edit feature. We have videos and articles that talk about how to use it, but for both sales and for inventory, you can bulk edit. So if you need to add a whole bunch of purchase prices, for example, that would be a great time to use the bulk edit feature, because then you can do things faster with that. Cash reconciliation, I won't spend really any time on this tab because it's not something that a ton of folks use. But just know that if you want to reconcile a bank account in Genie, we do have the functionality for that. And then expense detail. So expense detail is where expenses go. So any expenses that aren't attached directly to your sales will go here. So your expenses are either going to be attached onto sales or they're going to be in here. While we're here, I'll mention that you can connect credit cards, bank accounts, debit cards to Genie. And the way you do that, so this is for premium and ultimate users only. The way you do that is you click the profile icon, you go to integrations, and then you click on that. Enter an account name, a start date for when you want to pull expenses, and then you click select account. It takes you to a list. You can search for your bank account and then connect. So I won't go through that whole process, but that will be functionality that's available to you. And I want to talk a little bit about, for ultimate users, the daily eBay integration and how that works. So let's start with inventory. When you list new items to eBay, they will be pulled over to Genie and put into a pending status. So that's what we're looking at right now. And they'll be displayed like what we're seeing here. So if you list a new item, you'll see, all right, here's the item title, the SKU that I assigned to it, the date I listed it. And then you can tack on your purchase price, your purchase date, brand, if you track brand, location where you store it, and vendor, if you want to track where you bought the item. So you'd add all that information and then click add. If you don't want to add one of the items, you can delete it. And there's also a copy down feature so that if you have repeated information, you can copy the information from the line above. So that's inventory. For sales and expenses and returns, they're all going to be pulled in automatically, and you'll get a notification to review them. So review new eBay sales. If you don't track inventory, you would just say, all right, I want to mark all these as reviewed. If you do track inventory, you would match them to inventory, and Genie will automatically match by looking at item titles and lining them up. And if it doesn't find a match for the item title, it'll look for matching SKUs. So there's two different ways that we automatically match for you. And then anything that doesn't automatically match, you can match manually. All right. And then expenses, it's similar to the sales review screen. You'll just see, the date, the amount, and you can assign vendors, create expense rules, which is like if an expense has a charge description, you can say, all right, I want all expenses with this charge description to go to this account, this vendor, this description. And I think I'm talking too much, so I'm going to move forward. All right.
Well, we're almost done. Okay, well, while he's taking a sip of his coffee there, guys, I do have, Cindy says just had to drop it and say hello. It was so awesome to meet you at FlipCon. Guys, we have a picture of Cindy on our Instagram and Facebook. We got to meet one of our many of our customers actually in person at FlipCon, and it was just like the highlight for us. We just loved it so much. Cindy, so great to hear from you. Hope that you're doing good. Guys, okay, I have a quick question. We're just taking a quick little break to interrupt this moment. Drop a line in the chat if you're feeling at all overwhelmed right now. Just be honest. Like, please be honest. Hopefully you're not. But for those of you guys who've been using Genie for a while, you shouldn't be overwhelmed. But let me know. Danielle is here, guys. Danielle is here. We love you, girl. Yeah. So drop a line in the chat. Let us know if you're overwhelmed. Paul's gonna share with you this last feature, and then I want to address what you guys are saying.
Okay, cool. So I'm actually excited. We've added another report type since the last time we did a live. We've added a lot of stuff since the last time, actually. Yeah. But this is something that I get to cover in my presentation. So we'll start with profit and loss statement. So profit and loss statement is a fundamental accounting report. And what it does is it takes all of your income and all of your expenses and it puts it in one place, summarized for you. So I just ran this for the period of August 2023. We have a whole bunch of periods that you can select, which makes it super convenient. And you can also put in custom time ranges if you want. And when you run it, you'll see exactly what I was saying. All of your income is here. And then your expenses are listed below. We also have functionality so that you can toggle estimated tax based on that tax rate that you set. So if you wanted to see like, all right, for first quarter of 2023, what should I pay based on that estimate? You can toggle that on and see, all right, my payment would be $784. That would be crazy for this person, but there you go. And another thing which we haven't really talked about previously is that you can compare time periods. So like if I wanted to compare first quarter of 2023 to first quarter of 2022, you just click compare, add in that period, and then run it. And you'd see side by side those numbers. So I don't have any data for 2022 in here, but I think the principle stands. Let me do actually 2023, Q1 and Q2. So that's what it looks like. And then another cool thing in Genie is that on your profit and loss statement, you can click on a line and a detail shows up underneath of the report. So you can see what makes that number up. So if you're looking at something and you're like, that seems wrong, you can click and find, oh, maybe I miscategorized something. Okay, so next up, we're going to talk about the inventory report, which is really fantastic for folks that use the accrual inventory method. For those that don't know, accrual inventory method and cash inventory method are kind of like the two big methods that people in the reselling community use to account for their inventory. So the accrual method means that you record an expense once the item sells. The cash inventory method means you record the expense as soon as you buy the inventory. And we can cover that again later if I said that too fast. But for the accrual inventory, folks, on your taxes, you don't just put, this is my cost of goods for the year. You put your inventory balance at the beginning of the year. You put your purchases during the year and your inventory balance at the end of the year. And IRS uses those numbers to calculate what your cost of goods sold was. So this report calculates all those numbers for you, which is fantastic because you just need to worry about putting in the data the right way, and then we do the math for you. Okay, so last but not least, this is the new report. We just added it. It's called the Platform Transactions Report. And our goal was really to make reconciling your My Reseller Genie numbers to your eBay numbers easier. But you can do it with any platform. And basically what you do is you select your time period, you click run the report, and then it'll give you a summary of your sales, refunds, and expenses from that platform for the time period. And you can see a ledger below with the detail of what makes all those numbers up. So common theme here, we like to provide you the information that makes up your totals. So that's always important when you're comparing one total to another. You need to know how that total is computed. But anyways, I've talked a lot, so hopefully we can get into some questions now.
Yeah. So why don't you kind of get set up for answering the questions. Guys, we're going to do another giveaway before we start answering the questions, and then right after we're done answering questions. Okay, so stick around for that. I did want to, Lisa says that platform report is amazing. Thanks, Lisa. We think so too. It's fantastic. All right, so guys, really quick, before we dive into questions, I wanted, some of you guys let me know in the chat that you were overwhelmed. And I get that, but also not many of you said that. So that's fantastic because that's our goal, that you're not overwhelmed.
Oh, Annie just heard there's a platform report.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just added it last week, I think.
Yeah.
I was so excited to get it out there.
It's really exciting. So guys, if you have a sticky note or even on your phone, you're taking notes, I want you guys to write down 3 things. Okay. Are you ready? Hopefully you are, because I'm just going to go. All right. What you need for accounting, and you just correct me if I'm wrong. But, oh no, he's getting nervous because he knows I'm not the accountant. What you need, the meat and potatoes of what you need to put in your My Reseller Genie. Are you ready? 3 things. Inventory, if you track it. If you don't know if you should track it, talk to an accountant, okay? But inventory, if you track it. The second thing is your sales. So you need to go to all your sales platforms and put that information into My Reseller Genie. The third thing, beer. Oh my gosh. The third thing, no, it's not beer, Bear Kitty. The third thing that you need to do is your expenses. Okay, so what are you paying for your business? Subscription fees, shipping, supplies, your My Reseller Genie subscription, all of that. Okay, so inventory, if you track it, sales and expenses. It's that simple. Okay, now I realize that once you get into it, it might feel a little bit overwhelming because you're learning a new software. And I want to highlight that too, guys. Listen, I am not an accountant. I didn't go to school for accounting. Paul has the training in that. Courtney in the chat has the training in that. Guys, like people dedicate their entire lives to learn how to do this. And we as resellers have to kind of figure out how to account for our own businesses too. So first of all, just know that you're amazing for even trying to wrap your head around this. And then secondly, guys, you need to know this, and please remember this. If I could do it, you can do it. And I mean that. I am not a technical person. I am not a numbers person. In My Reseller Genie, it has saved my behind because it literally gives me everything that I need to account for my business and to be able to file my taxes at tax time. So the last and final thing I'm going to say is give yourself some grace, especially if you're just starting in My Reseller Genie. I would just suggest, tell me what you think. I'd suggest taking one tab a day, like one tab, so maybe the sales tab, and just spending 10 or 15 minutes just kind of looking through it and kind of getting used to it. Obviously, like get your information in there first. But just like, don't feel like you have to tackle the whole thing in a day, guys. We have some people who get in as quickly as 10 minutes. For other people like me, it can take a little bit longer, and there's nothing wrong about that, guys. So anyway, I just wanted to say that. That's my little encouragement for tonight. All right, are we ready for another giveaway? Did I miss anything funny in the chat?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right, guys. So this question is open to everybody, okay? Whether or not you use My Reseller Genie. Help me with the question.
Okay. Oh, my goodness.
And if you win, you're going to get a free month of My Reseller Genie Ultimate. So if you're currently on like the basic or premium plan, we will upgrade you for free for a month of Ultimate. You can downgrade anytime.
Ooh, here's a good one.
Go ahead.
Well, maybe. So it's kind of in the same line as our trade show talk. So
okay. And first person to answer in the chat wins, okay?
Yeah. Who knows what the prize was, like the first prize was that we gave away at FlipCon?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really, really good one.
We gave away a bunch.
We gave away a bunch, but the one that we advertised on our Instagram a lot. First person to answer in the chat will win a free month of Genie. Okay.
Ashley's got 101 questions.
It's okay, Ashley. We will get to your questions for sure.
It.
Okay,
You're
guys, I'm hearing bad. Can anybody be more specific?
Do we give away a Rollo there?
We did not. No Rollo printer. No idea. Guys, does anybody know the type of bag? It was not an MRG bag. No.
Although we did give everyone.
Well, yeah, we get that. There we go.
There we go. Dottie's got it.
Oh wait. Oh, you're right.
It's not Daniela.
Dottie's got it. Daniela, you were second. I saw you come up first. All right. Dottie Kettler, congratulations. You've won a free month of My Reseller Genie Ultimate. I will go ahead and pop our email address in the chat. Shoot me an email tonight or whenever you can, and we'll hook you up with the free month of Genie. Congratulations. We're going to do another one of these at the end. For those of you guys who are just coming in, we're going to go through back to the beginning of the chat and answer all the questions in order. Stick around. We will do another giveaway at the end, and we're going to try to fly through these as quickly as possible. But if you have more questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. All right. We're just going through here.
Now we're
I think the first one was from Leslie, a Reworker's Passion. So she was asking about adding other sales platforms, which is a great question.
That's a wonderful thing. Mm-hmm. Wonderful thing to ask about. And actually, it's going to change a little bit with the next deployment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's going to become more intuitive with the next deployment.
Yeah, that's right.
But we'll cover it now.
All right, trying to find this first. You guys have been so chatty tonight. Thank you. This is great.
That's so funny. You got sent to the shed.
Poor Shady. All right, first question. Okay. All right, so a reworker's passion says, I have a new website. How would that work since it's not a reselling platform? So it's not Shopify.
Awesome. Okay.
The same concept.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen again, and we'll talk about that. Okay, so the way it works, I'll give you two answers. I'll give you how it works now and how it's going to work in like maybe a week, depending on how testing goes for some other features. So the way it works right now, when you want to add a new sales platform, is you click the profile icon, you don't right click it, you left click it, and you click profile settings, and you'll enter in whatever the name is. So what's the name of our new platform?
Oh, let's do Whatnot. I mean, a lot of people are on Whatnot.
Whatnot. So you type Whatnot and you hit enter, and then go down and click save.
So Leslie, super easy.
And then when you click report sale, it'll show up under your sales platforms. Now, in like a week from now, it's going to be even easier. So like when you click this sale platform button, the first option will be add new platform, and you can just add it, like click on that and add it through a form. So
great question.
Yeah,
All right,
great question.
He's going to look for the next question. And guys, for those of you who don't know, My Reseller Genie, it is compatible literally with every selling platform. If you sell a pair of sneakers to your neighbor across the street, you can just create like a selling platform as friends and family, and then record that in your Genie. Because I always like to say, we like to say, good accounting is only good if you're accounting for everything. So you really, really want to have all your numbers in there.
All right, so John's asking, he says, I've been away for a few months. If I have to catch up on my bookkeeping, do you have the date range importing for eBay sales? All right, yeah, so long story short, John, if you've already done an import, you would need to upgrade to Ultimate to do that importing. But yes, current like active accounts can absolutely go in and do an initial import and set like, I want to import for March through May, for example. So yeah, that's very doable for existing accounts. You just need to be on an Ultimate plan. All right. Okay, yeah, great question from Lisa.
Lisa says, why does the gross profit in financial reports differ from the gross profit on the sales tab? And do you want to show them too?
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
All right, so let me go over to that screen. All right, so what she's talking about is this line, the white line here, total gross profit, versus on the sales tab, this gross profit. So the reason that will differ is because the sales is only factoring in expenses that are tied to the sales explicitly. So if we go and look at our sales, we'll see there's purchase price field, shipping costs from expense detail, transaction fees. There's a whole bunch of expenses that get attached to the sales. And this number is calculated by looking at the sales price and subtracting out those amounts. And if a sale has a return attached to it, it doesn't get factored into the gross profit here. For this total gross profit, that'll include anything in your expense detail that is a cost of goods type expense. So I think that should answer the question. Let me know if you need further clarification on anything I said.
All right. We're just about the giveaway.
Nice.
And guys, if you haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe to us. I just posted in the chat, but we post new features and new instructional videos on our channel all the time. So you will get notified like when new features are pushed out. And for those who don't know, because I can't believe this, but some of y'all don't know, if you currently use My Reseller Genie, you have access to an exclusive Facebook users group, where we post more information and we help each other out. Like, if you have questions throughout the week or whatever. But that group is called My Reseller Genie Users.
Yeah, so Annie's got a question about searching by a specific date to see your sales stats. So yes, there's two ways that you could do this. So one is using sales analytics. You can click on the custom tab here and then type in whatever start and end date you want to see. Or you could go to reseller reports and run a profit and loss statement and do the same thing here. Just add in a specific start and end date. So yeah, good question. All right. All right, so Ashley's asking if we can do it by inventory number. Ashley, can you clarify? Because I think that was context-based, and I don't know what the context was that you were asking the question. When you were asking, can you do it by inventory number, do you remember what you were wanting to do? Let us know and we'll come back to it. Okay, yeah, so Bear Kitty just started doing gig work, set our delivery driving, just list that under other sales, do the mileage as an expense. Is there anything else I need to do? Yeah, no, so it sounds like that's pretty much all you would need to do. You could, so instead of listing the income under other for the sales platform, you could add a custom sales platform to break it out separately. But yeah, what you laid out is all you really need to do.
Okay. And Ashley just got back to you. She said, can you filter your items in the search by inventory number to find them?
Okay, inventory number.
SKU? Is that what?
No, so I think she's asking like based on the eBay inventory number.
Okay. Is that what you mean, Ashley?
Yeah, so let us know if that's what you mean.
Cool.
All right.
All right, next question, guys. We're trying to fly through these as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it's awesome how active this chat has been. Thank you guys for being engaged.
Yeah. Was that one up there by Lisa? If I change, go up.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see a question mark, so I just flew past it.
Okay. If I change the listing title in eBay, I make sure to copy/paste an MRG with the old title so it does not come in
that
as
wasn't
a
a
new
question.
listing. Oh, that wasn't a question.
Yeah, that's just that's a pro tip.
Okay.
So
Thank you,
what
Lisa.
she's referring to is, so when new items get brought into My Reseller Genie from eBay, we have a duplicate checker. We implemented it because when you do, like a lot of people do end and sell similar, and so that creates a new listing. But if the listing's already in your inventory, then it's like, you could end up with duplicates because you weren't necessarily thinking, oh, this item's already in there. So we have a duplicate checker which compares the titles of your inventory items to what's being brought in from eBay. So what Lisa's saying here is like, if you change the item title in eBay for one reason or another, just update it in My Reseller Genie, because that'll make sure the duplicate checker works for you.
Awesome.
So,
And Ashley got back to us. So her question was, can you filter your items in the search by inventory number? And she's saying on Poshmark.
On Poshmark. Okay. So currently, no, we don't have a field for inventory number. Poshmark, I don't think on Poshmark's inventory report that it downloads with an ID.
I thought it did.
I don't
You don't think it
think
does?
it does. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but I don't think it does. If it does, and I'm wrong about that, let us know in the chat. I know their sales report has IDs, but I don't think inventory does.
Yeah. Bear Kitty has a question in the context that we were just talking about. If we don't track inventory, does it really matter? I think to do the duplicate checker. If that's what they're saying.
Yeah, no.
No, it does not. All right, next question. Yeah, people want to, well, it's, some people want a death pile tracker in Genie. Some people do not. Danielle is saying that Ashley means SKU. Ashley, if you're talking about the SKU, yes, you can search by SKU.
Yeah, and I can show that real quick. So you could, well, actually, there's So there's two ways you could do it. So you could search in this edit box up here, or you could apply a filter and select the SKU column and then enter in a value, and it'll filter your inventory that way. So
no worries, Ashley. And Daniela, thanks so much for catching that. I
really,
thought that's what she meant.
Really appreciate that.
That's good. All right.
So
Brian?
let's see what Brian's asking.
It looks like I imported my sales months ago, but never imported my inventory. If I do that now, will I be able to enter the cost of those sold items from the inventory section? It's a good question.
Yeah, great question. Okay, so for this, just kind of walking through how Genie's set up. Your inventory is a list of current inventory items. So once an inventory item sells, it goes into the sales tab, and there's not going to be a record of it in the inventory tab. Now, the way that we manage that is all the inventory details get pulled to the sale. So like purchase price and purchase date, that's not related to the sale. That's not like sale information, that's inventory information, but we pull it into sales. So to answer your question, yes, you can update it, but the place you'll be updating it is in the sales detail. And one of the most convenient ways will probably be to use the bulk edit sales feature, because you can download the information and edit it in a spreadsheet format, which will be faster. Or you could just double click and edit information that way.
All right. All right, next question. Danielle says bulk edit sales is a godsend. Yeah, we agree. Always trying to make things even easier to use. Right, next.
Yeah, people are loving the platform transactions report.
Yeah,
I thought it would be a hit.
Mm-hmm.
Really glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is awesome. Thank you for asking this question, Better Barbie. So what if your direct import transaction job has timed out? Yes. So we actually made a new, like an edit to the process for this specific situation.
Somebody else just asked that too.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So if you have a lot of sales data, this can happen. So what we did is on initial imports for eBay, we added a start date and an end date. So if you're getting a timeout error, that's because it's trying to pull too much data at once. So what you can do is just say, instead of pulling the whole year, maybe pull half the year or a quarter of the year, and then just rinse and repeat to get all of your data in there.
Awesome. Guys, these are great.
Yeah, really great question. I'm really glad you brought it up.
Oh, Ashley says this doesn't auto transfer. Let me just address that really quick. So Ashley, we have eBay integration. So for those who sell on eBay, and you are on the ultimate plan, so you have to be on the highest tier, your information, so your inventory, your sales, your fees, your returns will all come in automatically into the app. Now with all other platforms, it's going to be more of a manual process because
instead of saying that.
Sure.
So for Poshmark and Mercari, it's really not a manual process.
You're right. It's a couple clicks of a button.
Yeah. So you can take the sales reports from Poshmark and Mercari and directly upload those into My Reseller Genie. Mm-hmm. So when you click initial imports, there's Poshmark and Mercari. When you click on that, you just upload the report and it goes into Genie.
Super quick.
And it also, like I was saying before, so those reports have sales IDs, which My Reseller Genie uploads. And so if you have overlap in the file that you're uploading, we won't duplicate your information because we can see, oh, that sale's already in there. So, but for other sales platforms, if you maybe sell at like an antique booth, or if you sell on Facebook Marketplace, you would either need to use our forms. So like you can report sales manually this way, or you can build uploads and upload those sales.
Yep. Great. All right. Oh, and Jody, apologies. Didn't realize that we were pronouncing your name wrong. So thanks for letting us know. It's Jody, not Dottie.
Okay.
Ashley says, I do consignment with monthly payouts. I also have employees. So is there a place for that?
Yeah, great question. So with consignment, there's all right. So there's a current way that people do it, and then there's a way that relatively soon will be a lot easier.
Yes, we're working on adding a newer feature for this.
So the way that you would do it right now for consignments is you would make a vendor for each consignor, and then for those items, you'd attach that vendor, and at the end of the month, you can filter your sales for that vendor, download them, total them up, and calculate your commission using a calculator or spreadsheets, and then pay out your commissions that way. In future, there will be a report that you can run for each consignor, and it'll do the calculations for you. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And then as far as where you would record those expenses, both for the consignment payouts and for the employees, you would put that in your expense detail.
Actually saying kind of like how I'm doing it in QuickBooks.
Yeah, probably
how you're doing
probably
it in
very
QuickBooks.
similar to how you're doing in QuickBooks for the current method, but in future it's going to be
easier.
like you run a report and your jaw drops. And
I'm
like,
so excited.
I just
for
saved
that.
all this time.
It's gonna be so good, guys.
I can't
Stay
wait.
tuned for that new
wait.
feature.
There's so many
We're
things
really,
I can't wait for.
Really excited. All right, Lisa says, or did you want to? That's just more of a suggestion.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, this is a great question that
Right.
Shane was asking. Okay, so
I'm going to just read the question for those who aren't reading the chat. So maybe I'm dumb, but how does MRG know my COGS when I haven't put any of that info in?
yeah, okay. So this is something that it can be a little confusing, but just for y'all's edification. So in the accounting tax world, cost of goods sold means something different versus the accounting reporting world. So in the tax world, cost of goods sold, it really just means the cost of the items that you sold. In the accounting reporting world, cost of goods sold is a broader category that relates to expenses related to your sales process. So your shipping fees for your items, your transaction fees on platforms, et cetera, et cetera. So when you're seeing cost of goods sold in My Reseller Genie and you're like, I haven't entered any item costs, that's why. It's not from item costs, it's from shipping costs. And there's a reason for grouping things that way, which if you run a P&L report in Genie, it actually has a really nice explanation. It's really long, so I won't read through it, but it kind of talks about why it's broken up that way and how you can use it for your business. All right. Awesome. So Ashley's saying, can I transfer my current QuickBooks to you all? So yes, we don't have a direct integration or like a way to directly upload reports from QuickBooks, but we do have upload templates for inventory, sales, and expenses. So you can download your reports from QuickBooks and then copy and paste that data into our upload template and upload it that way. And if you run into any problems doing that, just send us an email, send us like what file you're trying to upload, tell us what problem you're having, and we can help you troubleshoot. Oh, good. Shane's got AC in the shed.
We're happy for you, Shane. Okay. Janet's saying, I have the basic, but really think I need at least
the mid-level.
The mid-level. Would you recommend upgrading mid-year or waiting until I begin 2024? You can upgrade whenever you want. I would recommend doing it as soon as possible because it's not going to really affect.
Yeah. I mean, if it's going to benefit you and if it's going to save you time, I would say upgrade now. You can always upgrade or downgrade whenever you want in Genie. And let me show that. We've got a help article that talks about it. But if you just click manage subscription and then go to Stripe, you can change or cancel your subscription that way. So it's all the power is in your hands.
Yeah. And for those of you watching who are on basic and you're kind of like, I thought Genie could do more, it's because you're on a basic. Basic really is what it sounds like. It's very, very just bare bones.
It's really just a cost-effective solution for people to track inventory and sales, because we know the accrual inventory method is tough if you're not, coming from an accounting background. So we wanted to provide a cost-effective way that people could just do that method.
Yep. All right, you guys are awesome. I'm trying to get through these questions as quickly as possible here.
All right, so Tammy's asking about returns. So I'm glad you brought this up. There are walkthroughs for this. We have videos and we do have articles talking about it. We're aware this is a sticking point for a lot of customers right now. So it's on our list to make this more intuitive. So just know it will be changing. We do have resources out there, and send us an email if you're not able to find them. We'll send you a direct link. But yeah, we are aware of this as being an area that needs some work for just making it more intuitive.
Yeah. All right. Ashley says, can I pull my inventory from Vendu, or should I pull from eBay and Poshmark so it's accurate, or would that double the items? Ashley, I just love your questions. I need to meet you someday. These are just very, very smart questions. You're thinking through this really, really well. Yeah.
So you can absolutely pull your inventory from Vendu. That's a great way, because I know a lot of folks will actually put their purchase cost in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can do that.
Just make sure that you don't have duplicates.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the goal with the inventory here is not, that it reflects one specific sales platform. It's that it reflects what you physically have in inventory. So wherever you have most of your inventory is where you should pull it from. All right. So then for consignment, is there a way to vendor them so I can send a 1099? Another great question. So currently, no, but here's vendors. When you add a vendor, there is a checkbox for 1099 contractor. We haven't done anything with this yet in terms of reporting, but we put it there because we know in future that's going to be a
need.
A need. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yes, guys, if you haven't already, please like our video and subscribe to our channel. All right. Dodie, is that what we're doing? How do I capture price paid for an item if I don't track inventory? Can I bulk import from list perfectly? Will it match the item to the sold item?
Okay, so I guess there's two questions here. So how do I capture the price paid for an item if I don't track inventory? Short answer is you wouldn't have it at the sale level because this would mean that you were recording an expense whenever you purchase the item. In terms of, can I bulk import from list perfectly and will it match the item to the sold item? So yes, you can bulk import from list perfectly on Ultimate. So I guess I'm a little confused because your questions, it sounds like you're tracking inventory, but you're saying you're not tracking inventory. So maybe, can you clarify for me the second question just so I can give you a good answer? Okay, great question from Janet. Okay, currently I'm sorry, you go ahead and read it. I'm just trying to give you a break. Thank you.
Janet says, we're currently purging a fair amount of inventory and donating to a local not-for-profit thrift store. Should I delete this inventory or is there another method I should use?
Yeah, great question. So don't delete the inventory because if you delete it, then you won't, basically it'll mess up your inventory balances and you won't get the benefit of writing off the inventory. So what you should do.
Another great feature of My Reseller Genie.
Yes, another great feature.
Track your donations, guys. Well,
so let me make sure I've got a sale platform for this. So if you don't have a sale platform, add a sale platform for donations. And then.
What did you say? I'm not just going to tell
I didn't save it.
Look at that, guys. I know something about Genie that. All right, guys, make sure once you click enter that you go down to the bottom and click save. Otherwise, it won't show up.
Yeah. Okay. So then when you record the sale, you would select your item and record a sale price of 0. And for your sale platform, put it under donations. And then record the sale that way.
That way you don't have to pay taxes on it.
Yeah, so that writes off the item and takes it out of your inventory simultaneously, and also gives you a record of what was donated. So doing a lot of good things all at once with that.
Yeah. So Dodie responded. She said, just import the price paid on the sold item.
So the problem that you're going to run into with that is that it'll show up on your P&L as an expense. And if you're not tracking inventory using the accrual method, then that would be doubling up on your expenses. Conceivably, you could put in a negative expense for the month to offset that. But I would say if you're not tracking inventory, having the purchase price at an inventory level is
He's thinking, guys. Do you want to email us?
Yeah, send us an email, because I don't think that I'm going to be able to give a satisfactory answer in this particular medium. I think it'll be better written down so you can kind of review what I'm saying.
Guys, apologies for the cough. Not sure where that's coming from.
All right, so Ashley says, I sell a lot on Whatnot, but those items are not inventoried.
Would that be a manual entries by how many numbers in the total?
Yeah, so that is one way you could handle a Whatnot show. You could just, if you were, again, this comes into the, are you doing accrual inventory method or cash inventory method? So for cash inventory method, you wouldn't have to worry about your purchase price on those inventory items. Accrual inventory method is kind of a different story. But yeah, you could do like one bulk entry for revenue per show if you wanted to.
All right. All right. Can you filter? Did you see that?
Yeah, we already.
We did that.
Yeah, we
Okay,
covered
great.
that one.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, great question from Brian.
If I list 40 items today, when can I add my vendor and expenses to the inventory and possibly sales?
Yeah, so by default, My Reseller Genie will run a poll of new listings, sales, expenses around 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it does that automatically every day. You can also trigger a manual poll by going into integrations and then clicking the refresh icon. But I mean, unless you're in a hurry, it'll come in around 8 a.m. Eastern Standard.
Yeah, we already addressed that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're getting towards the end. Unless Ashley keeps asking us questions now. I'm kidding, Ashley. We love your questions.
I'm loving Ashley's questions.
This is so good. And like, it's going to be helpful to so many other people too. So.
Okay.
All right. The flip side reseller. If I have items I sell multiple of, and then she gave an item description, but it's 20 different shirts / listings, all with that title, will that cause a problem?
Yeah, so good question there. There's a couple ways I can answer it. So one is if the purchase price for all of them is the same, then it really won't matter. But if the purchase price is different, then I would recommend having different SKUs. so you can identify them somehow. So this is kind of where knowing your sales and knowing your inventory can be handy, because when it does that auto match by item title, you can probably identify, oh, actually that's an item where I have a bunch of duplicates, so I want to go ahead and manually match it. So hopefully that answers your question. Good question.
All right, guys, we are going to do one last giveaway.
All right, and in case Deal Sniper didn't hear the explanation earlier, that most likely means you're trying to pull too much data at once. So when you do your import, change it up and set the start date. So like if you're starting in January 2023, set your end date to a shorter time frame. So like maybe April 2023, do that import, and then do it again for like May through August. So just break up the time period a little bit.
Barricade, you're hilarious. You always make us laugh. Thank you. All right, grants. How do I get my Mercari initial import to download? Not sure what I'm doing wrong. Do I need to, you want me to tag the video? How to get the Mercari?
Well, all right. So terminology could be a little bit of a problem here. So when I hear Mercari initial import to download, I'm thinking, all right, are you saying I'm having trouble downloading from Mercari, or are you having trouble uploading to My Reseller Genie? So if you're having trouble getting it to download from Mercari, we've got a video, and we also have articles. I think it's our How to Get Started 1 article talks through that, I believe. But if you're having trouble uploading it to Genie, probably the most common error would be if you're on a Mac and you opened it in Numbers. Numbers likes to mess up CSV files. So if you're trying to upload a file and you're having trouble, send it to us and we can help you troubleshoot some more from there.
And while we're finding the next question, Courtney, go ahead and drop the link to your Facebook group. Guys, Courtney has a fantastic Facebook page, just like all about accounting and stuff. And it's grown to be really, really big. So Courtney, please go ahead and drop that link, or at least just tell us what the name is. If you can't find the link, tell us what the name is so that people can search for that and follow you on Facebook. Grant said not Mac, but you already answered this question.
Oh, great. Awesome. Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys.
Okay, so Deal Sniper, I log all of my COGS in a spreadsheet. Is there a way I can match that to all my listings on MRG? So yes, sort of. It kind of depends on what data you have in your spreadsheet that ties to what's in My Reseller Genie. So what I would recommend doing for your situation is using our bulk edit feature. So you'll download inventory from Genie, and then you'll have a spreadsheet, and then you can add those COGS into the Genie download and then re-upload it, and it'll update the items in Genie. Now, I didn't go through every step of that process, but if you go to our help center and search for how to bulk edit, you'll find instructions on how to do that.
Awesome.
All right, so under initial imports, eBay, what does update item title? Oh, great question. So that, we may do away with that. What she's referring to is here, update item titles. So it used to be that we weren't really able to get item titles to pull for sales older than like 90 days. So we had a workaround built where you could download a report from eBay and then click this update item titles and upload that report, and it would add in the item titles for the other sales. But our new developer is super smart and found a way around that issue. So really that's kind of an outdated button, but we've kept it there just in case something happens.
All right, I love what John said. Go ahead and post that. Okay, John says, have you forecasted when you'll be bumping into the number 2 spot and moving into your new international headquarters? That's very, very kind, John. Thank you. But what I was going to say about that is, guys, like the more customers that we have, the more we can do with development and the better we can make the app. So if you love My Reseller Genie, please leave us a review. That means a lot to us. Like on our Facebook page, My Reseller Genie, it's not the users group, it's our page. Just My Reseller Genie, please leave us a review, or you can go directly to our website, myresellergenie.com, and leave us a review. But even word of mouth, that seems to be even more popular or powerful, wrong word, powerful. So please, guys, like the more people we have sign up, the more that we can do. Believe it or not, like we won't, we're not going to share the numbers, but it is very, very costly to develop an app. So the more customers, the more we can do. So thanks, John. Appreciate that.
Okay, so Ashley's saying, so we wouldn't use Emergy as an inventory tracker. We should be using a program like Vendor or List Perfectly. So no, I would say that if you track inventory for accounting purposes, you would want to use My Reseller Genie because we track the purchase date, which is a crucial piece of information for accounting purposes. And B, we have that inventory report, which does all the math to give you your beginning inventory balance, purchases, and ending inventory balance. So I think that like it would be amazing if My Reseller Genie worked together with a cross-listing platform.
Yeah, make sure to tell them that.
But there's what I'm saying is there's room for both. If you track inventory using the accrual method, if you're not doing that, if you're doing the cash inventory method, then you don't need to track inventory in My Reseller Genie.
All right, guys, getting close to the end. We're going to do our final giveaway.
I love it, Shane. I'm glad the bot was helpful. Oh, nice. This is a good question from Ash. Ashley, you have so many good questions. Okay.
Piggybacking off the last question, does MRG show what platforms each item is listed on? This may be answered in the above question.
Yes, so it does, but you need to have entered that information. So when you upload inventory from like eBay or from Poshmark, it'll automatically add that platform to the inventory item. But see here, we've got a platforms listed field. So you can, if you added it to another platform, you could say, all right, it's on eBay, Curtsy, Consignment is not, Amazon FBA. So you can track that information in Genie. It's a little bit manual though.
All right. Janet, we're so happy that you came. She said this was my first live and I've learned so much. That's great. All right, guys, last call for questions. We're going to do the last giveaway here in a second. Is that a question from Brian?
That is a question.
Okay, Brian says, follow up. Any plans to create an eBay listing tool so that purchase price can be entered as you list? Wouldn't that be great, Brian? And Brian, wouldn't it be great if eBay had a place for us to put purchase price? I'm with you on that because, yeah. What do you think, babe?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Our development is really driven by what we get from users. So like if people are telling us, hey, we really want this, then that is prioritized by us. So thank you for suggesting it. And we keep our finger on the pulse of what users are saying, and we try and cater to that. So if more and more people are asking about it, it could absolutely be a reality.
Yeah. Guys, round of applause. Art just joined the chat. Welcome, Art. It's so good to have you here. Guys, if you didn't already see, there's a hilarious reel that he is on, like the last reel that I posted on my Instagram. So go ahead and check that out. It's really funny.
All right, so Pink Opal just started setting up Genie for items that have already sold. Should I enter them first to inventory and then record a sale, or just record the sale? Yeah, so I would say you can just record the sale. if like there's certain information that won't be like, you won't be able to record it from the record sale form, so you could edit it later if there was like stuff that you were missing. But yeah, you don't need to add the inventory item first. So depends on what you want to do.
All right, guys, coming down to the last questions. I know I keep saying that, but these truly are the last questions.
Really?
All right, we're gonna do a giveaway. All right, text me if you have a good question that I should ask the audience. Text me.
Bear Kitty has the sneeze of a bear.
All right, Lisa.
Yeah. So Lisa, this is kind of like a feature request.
Okay.
Is there a way I could create a P&L with and without COG? My CPA said I would need one because I sell items I purchased to resell my items where I owned with is 0 COG. So on your profit and loss statement, I'm not sure if I have inventory cost listed in here. Yeah, I do. All right. So on the profit and loss statement, the cost of sold inventory line is the purchase price of the items that were sold. So what you could do is just remove that total from your cost of goods sold, and then all these future lines. That would be to do that.
Cool. All right, I think we have one last one from Ashley. Record.
All right. Record the sales in Vendoo would be easier to transfer from Vendoo weekly. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. Yeah, you could absolutely do that.
So
I would like easier. It kind of depends on where you're making sales. So I think it wouldn't be easier if you were making sales on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, because it's just like it's adding an extra step, and so it's like I don't know why you'd want to record the sales in Vendoo and then in Genie. But I mean, if that's okay, eBay and Posh only. Okay. Yes. I mean, if you were on the ultimate plan, the sales from eBay would get pulled in automatically. And then like once a week, you could run your Poshmark sales report, or you could download your Poshmark sales report and upload it to Genie. So, I mean, I think that would probably be the fastest way to do it. But, you know, everyone's got their own processes and reasons for doing it. So I might be missing something, that's like helpful for you with recording them in Vendoo. So really do what makes the most sense for your business. But I think the fastest way would be what I was just saying.
all right, guys, that is a wrap. We're going to do our last giveaway. Guys, this video will be posted to our channel, so you can go back and listen and watch. I'm also going to update the description of this video with our email, which is really simple. It's just support@myresellergenie.com. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us or use the help button in the app. We didn't share our code. If you are not yet signed up, we do have a special discount for 15% off of your first month. If you weren't one of the winners, for 15% off your first month, it's valid through September 1st. The coupon code is MRGLive15. And again, you'll get 15% off of your first month with that. So guys, thank you so much for coming. We're going to do one last giveaway. Oh, and lastly, if you do want to schedule a meeting with Courtney, Courtney, the accountant, highly recommend her, if you're just needing some more one-on-one time. Unfortunately, we can't do one-on-one Zoom calls with folks just because we're so busy trying to make this app as good as it can be, but we do respond to emails within 24 hours. So, but I will update the description in the video with Courtney's link as well, and our email. Guys, feel free to reach out anytime. Thank you, Daniela. Guys, we appreciate you so much. Okay, last thing. Here's the question. First person to type the correct answer in the chat wins a free month of My Reseller Genie Ultimate. And you can't have won already tonight. I didn't say that right. Gosh, guys, my grammar sucks. Okay, are we ready?
That's
Get your
what makes
typing. Okay, good. Get your typing fingers ready. What is My Reseller Genie's username across all platforms? So social media, selling, TikTok, all of that. First person to answer, get it right in the chat. All right, Annie. Annie got it. Okay, everything's just My Reseller Genie. Yep. Super easy, and I kind of gave it away. What is My Reseller Genie's username? Annie, congratulations. Thank you so much. Guys, yes, it's very, very easy. So if you have questions, if you aren't following us, please go and follow us. We're going to be doing another Whatnot show too, probably in a week or two. So we're really excited about that. So follow us on Whatnot.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that, but I'm
Okay,
really
cool.
excited. I don't have it scheduled yet, guys, but I'll let you guys know when it's scheduled. All right, Annie, thank you so much. Shoot us an email and we will give you your free month of My Reseller Genie. Guys, have a fantastic night. We appreciate you all so much.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Take care, guys.